Cooking Up a Storm, sponsored by West Virginia Northern Community College Culinary Arts Program.
We're cooking up a storm, and today we're making beer can chicken. I love beer can chicken. This is the juiciest chicken you're ever going to have. You're maybe wondering, what the heck's beer can chicken? Well, that's probably what you think it is. You get a chicken, and you stick a beer in it. So that's how it goes. It's pretty simple to make, and if you're just starting off like cooking, grilling, barbecuing, this is a great recipe. Your family will love it. It's probably the juiciest chicken you're ever going to have. So we got a whole chicken, around a 4-pounder, 4 or 5-pounder. One thing you want to do to get that nice juiciness on the inside, but more so the crispiness of the skin. And I know some people may be out there, skin, you can't eat the skin, it's bad for you. If you want, make sure it's patted dry. You could even do this overnight if you really want to get it dry. You put some baking soda on it or whatever, but you want to get it dry so that way your skin of the bird is going to be nice and crispy. Also, I already did this. You remove all the bag of, good goo stuff in there, whether the giblets, I don't know what they call that. So the bag of stuff that's inside there, remove that, throw it away unless you really want to make it. And I also rinced the bird real good. I did that ahead of time, and now we patted it dry. Simple stuff right here. What we're going to do is put a little olive oil on first, and we're going to put some olive oil on the skin. This is going to help adhere our seasoning. I got a little Dano's original seasoning right there. You could use any type of seasoning you would like. It really doesn't matter. Just give your bird a good massage. I've seen some people even we do this for Thanksgiving. They'll put butter underneath and everything, inject it with butter. You could brine this overnight. You can do whatever you want. But so we're just giving this a good old massage. Give it, it's like putting on suntan lotion on your bird, right? On your chicken. And if I call this a turkey, it's just, I don't know. I have a tendency to call it a turkey for some reason, probably because most of the time when I'm making like a whole bird, it happens to be Thanksgiving time when I have a whole bird, and it happens to be a turkey rather than a chicken. But this is a chicken, just in case you're wondering. Okay, we're gonna take our Dano's seasoning right here and just apply it pretty good. Get all that seasoning on there. Any type of seasoning you want. You want to use your favorite seasoning. You want to keep it simple. Some salt, pepper, maybe a little paprika. You could do that. Doesn't matter. And what's great about this is you could eat this, as is when it comes off, or you could shred it and make it into chicken tacos or something. You could do that as well. So whatever. If you're going with more of a chicken taco and you're having more of a Mexican theme, you could put a little bit more of a Mexican type of a seasoning on the outside of the bird, and that will, sort of go along. So whatever flavor you're going for, this is more or less just a good old-fashioned normal kind of seasoning. But we want to season this guy up pretty good. And, the inside, if you really want, because you're really only seasoning the skin, if you want, you could try to get some of that in there on the breast. You could try to work your fingers down inside as well, and then get the cavity of the bird. A lot of people think Thanksgiving they stuff the bird with all kind of things. So get the cavity. That's going to add some flavor to the bird as well. So I got this guy pretty seasoned well, as you can see. Okay. And that looks about it. So the next part is going to be the beer part. And I better wash it. There's a lot of washing hands when you're playing with chicken. You got to make sure you always have your hands clean. The problem is that you're constantly touching it. So constantly washing your hands. I guess I could have used some rubber gloves, but you could do that as well. Okay, so we're done with the seasoning. Now here comes the beer part. Now. The beer, you can use any beer you want, really doesn't matter. Now, the other important thing is you want to use about half of the beer. Otherwise, your beer is going to start boiling all over in your grill. So half of the beer goes to the bird, the other half goes to yourself. I always wonder how beer can chicken came about. I have no clue, but I have a funny feeling that it probably came about from a guy that just had a beer and a chicken and put them together, and they came up with beer can chicken. Okay, so we take our bird, we got our beer can. Now I also have one of these little apparatuses. My wife got me this many years ago. It looks like a Bunsen beaker or something, very scientific. You could get one of these, and then you fill the beer in here, and you can put like your herbs. I like using rosemary or some garlic in there, would go really well. If you don't have that though, I'm gonna try it the old-fashioned way. This would be a lot sturdier than the beer can, but I think most of you at home are just gonna have the can of beer rather than the Bunsen beaker with the holes and everything in it. So we take our bird. Oh, I'm gonna put a little bit of rosemary in there, just to see a little bit of flavor, okay? We take our bird, the big cavity of the bird right there, and we're gonna place this right on top of the chicken. Oh, see, I could get a little, so you can sort of use the legs as like a tripod to help keep it up. There we go, there we go. Use the legs like a tripod. I had it the wrong way. So see, there you go. See how I have the legs like that? Does this remind you of the episode of Friends when they had that big turkey on the head? That's what it reminds you of. Okay, so we're basically ready to roll right now. And now we're just gonna take this out to the grill. Oh, before we do that, let me wash my hands. Well, I have a thermometer, and the meat thermometer is your friend if you're doing some grilling. And meat thermometers these days are fantastic because they have all kind of different ones. This one happens to be, it's called Chef IQ, and they come with apps. So this is a wireless one, and it has like 2 probes. I'm just gonna use one today, but what's great about it is if you're using, you know, you're cooking steaks, someone likes it rare, medium rare, someone likes it well done, you could put these in different steaks, and then it gives you the temperature and it lets you know when it's done. It talks to your phone, so this thing's gonna be beeping and everything else. So what we wanna do, where's our breast here of the bird? Here he is on the front. So to find a thick part of the breast, we're gonna insert this probe in like that, and we want that temperature, and I'll hit the start cook on here. I set it for 165 degrees. So right now it's like reading 50 degrees internal temperature, but we're gonna throw this on the grill. And of course it's probably gonna be on the grill for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half to get it to that 165. So now we're ready to take the chicken out to the grill. So let's go on out to the grill. Okay, got the grill ready to go, and when you know it, I think it's starting to rain. Every time I grill, it wouldn't be an episode of Cooking Up a Storm if a weather element wasn't involved. Okay, so we got the grill ready to go. We're using indirect heating. What's indirect heating? Well, that means I have these 2 side burners turned on. The middle burners are not turned on. We want the temperature of your grill to be about 350-ish, so get preheated. And then we're just gonna take our bird. I have it on a pan. You don't have to have it on a pan, but this helps stabilize it so it doesn't fall off the beer can. So that's the reason why I have it on that pan. And that's it. So notice how I have it. I don't have it on the direct heat. The direct burners, these 2 burners are turned on, while the 2 middle burners are not turned on. And all you do, set it and forget it. You close it and get that temperature up in the grill. We're gonna wait until that internal temperature of the chicken breast is gonna get to 165 degrees, and my probe will alert me on my phone, will know, and it's gonna take about an hour, maybe an hour and a half at most. And if you want, you can rotate this every 15 minutes, but you really don't wanna be playing around with the thing. You don't wanna be opening it up, and see my probe's starting to talk to me already over there right now. It's saying it's ready to cook. It's measuring the temperature, but you don't wanna be opening it up constantly, but if you do wanna turn it a little bit, you could maybe every 15, 20 minutes.
I was the first in my family to go to college.
I was looking to switch careers.
I wanted the highest quality, but most affordable option for a degree.
No matter where you are in life, West Virginia Northern Community College can make your dream of a college degree a reality. With over half of our students being first-generation college students and free tuition for many programs, Northern is the right choice for you.
I can go to college. West Virginia Northern Community College. You belong here.
Okay, towards the end of the cooking, what sometimes I like to do, give it a little bit of a glaze, and it depends what you're using the chicken for. I like to add a little bit of barbecue sauce. I'm gonna use this Traeger apricot sweet and tangy barbecue sauce, and we're gonna put it on, again, last 10 minutes of cooking or so, just baste it. And there's our bird, it's cooking away. I think you can see it right there. And as you can see, the rain has picked up, so I gotta use the umbrella. Every time I have been grilling so far this year, it has rained, it has stormed. It's just been, and it's whenever I use the grill, whenever I use the griddle over there, I have that underneath the cover, and it never rains then. But when I'm not under the cover, it seems to rain. But that's just gonna give it a little more, I mean, this bird is really crisp and juicy. Again, I have that thermometer in there, and if you don't have a thermometer and you want an idea of when it's done, after like an hour or hour, 15 minutes or so, if you want to cut into it, just like cut into it, if clear juice comes out of the bird, then you know your bird's done. Given the, but if you, and I hear my probe saying it's pretty much almost done right now, but if you cut into it and it's like you get some funky colors besides like something clear coming out, then it's probably not done. So that would be another way of judging whether or not your chicken, and I think I might have said turkey again, it would be done. But we're just gonna let this glaze. I'm gonna cover this up for a little bit, just for a couple more minutes, and let it get nice and crispy. And then after that, we're gonna let it sit for about 10 minutes. That's important. Let it sit, let all the juices in there congeal and get together, and then let it sit for 10 minutes, and then we'll carve it, and I'll show you how juicy this beer can chicken is. Okay, so we obviously brought it in from the grill from outside, and we let it rest for 10 minutes, and that's very important. I know you want to dive right into it, but let it rest for 10 minutes. Letting all your meat rest is very good. I'm going to try to cut into the, look how juicy that is. I mean, it's just like falling off the bone goodness right there. That literally just came right off. I mean, look at that. I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. The meat is juicy, and the skin is nice and crispy, and that's what you're looking for. If you want, you could take it off of the, to carve it up. This might get a little messy. I probably should have some gloves because it's still a tad hot, but you'd want to get the beer can out of there as well, and that way you can carve it up a little bit. But I'm just going to take a little snip, a little bit of the leg right there. Look how juicy that is. That meat, it's just so tender. It's delicious. And I don't know if it's just the beer, coming up through the chicken that makes it moist. And some people say it has nothing to do with it. You can put anything in there or nothing at all. But it really makes a moist bird. So give this a try. As you saw, it's not all that difficult. And, it's a great barbecue dish. Your family's going to love it. And you can make anything with it. It's just like a rotisserie chicken. You can make casserole dishes, chicken tacos, whatever you want to make. You got a full bird but I just love eating it like this, and grab myself another beer. Not that one, a fresh cold one. Until next time, we'll see you on Cooking Up a Storm.
Cooking Up a Storm, sponsored by West Virginia Northern Community College Culinary Arts Program.